We often focus on the seven main centers from the Mooladhara to the Sahasrara, but there are these other centers, including the Hamsa. And Shrimataji has talked about the importance of the Hamsa many times, including um, including at pujas. So the word Hamsa in Sanskrit means swan, the bird, and it is said that if you that the swan has the ability to put its beak inside milk and water if it is mixed and able to separate one out from the other. It symbolizes discretion within us. And this is of great significance in today's world, which is so much more complex, where black and white don't really exist as distinct entities. Everything is more gray, and we need this discretion, this subtle judgment to really parse what is right and what is not for us, for our growth, for our well being. So, today we'll focus on this chakra. It also lies outside of the passage of the Kundalini. It does not, unlike the other chakras, the Kundalini does not directly pass through the Hamsa, which means it cannot be nourished, it cannot be balanced automatically just by the rising of the Kundalini. So it needs some additional nourishment. It needs some help, and there are various ways to do that. One of those is the use of oil. We can massage this area with oil. So we will do that if you have some oil handy today. The position of the chakra is right in between the eyebrows, and it is closely connected. It's kind of an offshoot of the Vishuddhi chakra, which is at the base of the throat, the fifth chakra. So we'll start with the Footsoak today, and then we listen to a speech by Srimataji, where she talks quite in detail about this center, and then we'll end with some silent meditation. So let's get ready for the Footsoak. Um, if you don't have it handy today, no problem. You can still meditate along. Um, Basically, it's a tub of water and some salt in it, and we meditate with our feet inside, and then we rinse our feet off, and it really helps clear our chakras, especially the lower chakras, the lower three chakras. So let's settle down. We'll take a few deep breaths. Allow the attention to settle inward. And we can take it up to the top of the head, the seventh center. And now let's raise the Kundalini 3 times. Tying a knot each time to establish it over the head. So the left hand comes straight up, the right hand goes around it. We bring it up and tie a knot. The second time, we tie 2 knots. And the third time, 3 knots. Next, we're going to balance the energy fields around each of the seven chakras. And we do the balancing by we bring the right hand near the left hip, raise the energy of the left side, make an arc over the head, and bring it down the right. And then with the same hand, raise the energy of the right side, make an arc, and bring it down the left. So we'll do this 6 more times. Now, let's try to keep the attention at the top of the head. Where that connection happens through the seventh center. And at the same time, let's bring the right hand over the water and salt and move the right hand clockwise, allowing those vibrations to pass through to these elements. We invoke the qualities of the ocean. And then we put our feet inside. Let's put the right hand towards the earth. Make a connection with Mother Earth and ask her to please take away all the unnecessary accumulation on the left energy channel. The left side, as we know, is the side of the past, all of our emotions and desires, the entire psyche. We don't bring any of that into our present, into our conscious attention. Instead, we just release what we don't need into the earth, which has that power to absorb. And when I say we release, actually, we are not doing anything. We're just letting it happen. Just bearing witness. We can bring the right hand back. Now raise the left upward, connecting with the air and the ether elements or the sky. Let all the excess heat generated on the right side escape into the ether. May the right side be cooled. Allowing the attention to become more subtle, more deep. Then we can bring the left hand down. Now let's put both hands towards the earth and ask that any remaining imbalances across my channels, my chakras be removed. May any obstacles to the ascent of the Kundalini be removed. can bring our hands back on our lap. Let's see how we're feeling on our hands. Is there a coolness on both hands or not? Or if one feels lighter than the other? If this is so, we can try another method. So, for example, if the right hand still feels some uh, tingling or heaviness across the palms, it could indicate that the right side is heavy still, the mind is still going. Um, so we use the energy of the left side to cool down the right. So with the left hand, we make an arc over the head and bring it down the right. So we'll do this, we can do this a few times if you feel heat or heaviness on the right side. If you don't, then you don't need to do this. And similarly, if you feel heavier or less flow on the left hand, then you can use the right hand to bring the energy of the right side over to the left. And see if that helps with balancing. Now, if you're feeling a tingle on any specific chakras, like on the right middle finger or the thumb, then we can place the left hand on the right side of the stomach, on the liver, and allow that natural cooling energy of the left side to balance our center here. The Footsoak is also very effective in clearing the void known in Sanskrit as the Bhavasagara. So we'll place the right hand a couple of inches above the navel and then slowly move it all around clockwise. The prayer to the Kundalini. Mother, please enlighten my Guru principle. Please remove all falsehood and all negative influences. Working through my void. And bring our hand back on our lap. With that, we can conclude the Footsoak by taking our feet out one by one and rinsing them off. Just in the interest of time, we can dispose the water after the end of the session today. We will now listen to a talk by Sri Mataji, where she describes in quite a bit of detail the qualities of the Hamsa Chakra.
Pleasures ultimately can kill us. Today we are going to worship the Hamsa Chakra. So far we have been always worshipping a deity, and time we are worshipping this center of Hamsa. Now this chakra is, placed between the two eyebrows. Now two eyes represent the left and the right side. So this center is very much guided by our eyes, by our ears, by our nose, tongue, teeth, throat. Is a very important center because the Vishuddhi, which has to look after 16 petals, which look after all these ear, nose, throat, different organs within us. Also, it has to communicate with the Virat. So it has to pass through this center of Hamsa Chakra. Hamsa Chakra is the very pivotal center which expresses auspiciousness in our awareness. That means if this center is alert and awakened, then we immediately know what is auspicious and what is not auspicious. Or we can call it, we get the divine discretion. I think it is a part of the genetics that people have discretion between good and bad, destructive and constructive. It is basically has to be there. But we can easily spoil it by all these organs which are collecting the conditionings and the ego from outside. That's why this center is very vulnerable. Other centers are not so much connected outside, as this center is connected and receives all the information from all these organs. For example, the eyes now here. Eyes are very important because they say this is the window of the spirit. And you have seen that when Kundalini rises and spirit starts shining, there is a dilatation of the pupils and you look like an innocent child and there's a twinkle in your eyes. But the way we play with our eyes all the time, the way we use it indiscreetly, with our lust and greed, we can spoil the center very badly. Once we start taking to destructive things in our life, we immediately become akin, or we start accepting whatever is wrong, whatever is destructive, very easily. I feel this is some sort of a genetic defect, because in certain people they will not accept anything that is stupid, idiotic or destructive. But in certain people they are very prone and very easily can be taken to things which are absurd, which are stupid, and which are definitely destructive. This can become a very collective acceptance also. And once it becomes a collective acceptance, it starts penetrating throughout. It does not only have the effect of absorption, but also it has an effect of affecting other things. Say a person whose eyes are what we call flirtish or roving eyes. Such a person, if he goes to one group of people who do not know what flirting is, who do not know what roving eyes is, very steady eyes, he can influence those people and can make some of them of the same kind. So what happens really is this, that this is a very good door for all kinds of bhoots to enter, entities to enter. And when you start projecting it back, the same bhoots can pass into another person and can create the same kind of vacuum or same kind of vulnerability in the Hamsa Chakra of other people. So that's why eyes have to be very, very clean, innocent. Another you can see is what you hear. Some people, if they hear something nonsensical, they'll just put their hands to their ears. They don't want to hear anymore. But there are some people who like it and go on enjoying it. Ultimately, they become servile, or we can say conditioned, that they like all these horrible things that normally a human being won't like. Now also you must have seen that people who, like French people, I think they have no discretion of smell. They smell so awful, but they eat all rotten food, rotten cheese, absolutely rotten wines, but they never smell it. Anybody in their company can smell it, even their hands smell of their rotten cheese. You can't just smell it. But they have lost the power. In the same way, in our country, we have a caste called sweepers who do all the cleaning of dirty things with their hands. They have no sense of smell. They have lost the sense of smell. The nose has lost that smell sense. They cannot smell anything dirty. That's how they can do their work. So if you start also not being alert to fragrance, I have seen that there are certain things people use made of tobacco. They are supposed to be very good, very famous brands of perfumes like tabak and all that. So once they start liking that kind of a thing, then they have other things like poison and other horrible things which there's horrible smell in it. Apart from that, first you smell is alcohol, is a spirit. But they don't mind because they see in that a very congenial type of a pleasure. But these pleasures ultimately can kill all the cells of the nose, and afterwards one may even lose the sense of smell. One of the joy-giving organ is the sense of smell. When the Kundalini rises in many people, they get a fragrance of many things. Some people get of gugul, or sometimes they get of a fragrance of sandalwood or something, which is a very natural essence of flowers or maybe of some woods. But these unnaturally made things which are actually destructive to your cells of smelling, that is what they start using. And once you start using these kind of things, then what happens that you don't feel any bad smell anywhere, like animals. But so many animals can smell, if not, they don't call it bad or good, but they can smell. Even that sensitivity of good and bad smell we human beings have got is lost. So whatever is our ascent as human beings, at what a level we have gone, start completely disappearing, gradually, one by one. Then same with the throat. If the throat is using bad languages and is being used for abusing people, showing temper on people, or anything of aggression, or sometimes people take things which can also spoil the throat by their destructive qualities, like alcohol, especially the smoking. If you smoke, then the throat gets vulnerable the sweetness of your voice is lost. Then they speak with a hoarse voice. But this is all external. It starts becoming external. Mouth smells with that. And also the teeth react to all such things which we take without discretion about it. Because that's the fashion, because it is marketing well, because it is advertised. That means we have not got our own wisdom, our own personality. But when this center is awakened, then what you develop is a discretion. As I was telling them yesterday, how the word Hamsa has come for this center. Because there's a Sanskrit very beautiful couplet which says that a swan is white and a crane is a white bird. What is the difference between the swan and a crane? The answer is that when you mix milk with water, the swan will just suck in the milk while the crane has no discretion, no vivek. This discretionary power, once we start losing, we start becoming just like a rabbit, I would say. Because we have no personality. Anybody can brainwash us. And the more they tell us about our discretion, we listen to them. That explains why people, so many thousands of people, go to all these false gurus. Thousands of people, why did they take to homosexuality and got into AIDS? Why thousands of people have taken to drugs? It is unbelievable, incredible. Why people have taken to all these things are destroying their life. They see a man going into the pub, coming out and falling down on the ground with all his purse being emptied. But they go with the purse, see that they have sufficient money to go inside the pub, again come out to fall down on the street. Whatever idiotic or nonsensical other people are doing, when you see they are idiotic, you pay money to become idiotic. One pays money to destroy oneself. Go out of the way. It is so unnatural for anyone. I mean, even a dog or a cat or any animal knows where is the danger is. They can smell the danger. And they run away because they have to preserve their lives. They think their lives are precious and they must live and live well. But this ordinary common sense starts missing. And they will say, what's wrong? What's wrong in this? What's wrong in that? That means the genetics of the Hamsa are missing. Now you should see there is no deity on the Hamsa Chakra. But it is the formless energy of so many organs which are looked after by Buddha, Mahavira, Christ, Sri Krishna. 4 of them managed by Sri Ganesha. So these genetics are put by Sri Ganesha because he is the source of wisdom. So first, once they spoil their Muladhara, the wisdom is finished. Basis, the fundamentals are finished. That's why immoral life is very detrimental to our life because we lose our discretion. The discretion is lost. Then if you can awaken Sri Ganesha in the Hamsa Chakra, then suddenly you belong to the higher race of Sajamis. It's surprising, I've seen people overnight give up their drugs. Very immoral people become extremely moral because of this chakra being suddenly awakened. And the light of the spirit is best expressed through this chakra in everyday life, in the collective life also. So all these things that we have gathered from our previous life, even after our second birth, we carry a little bit. Like an egg becomes a bird, but still lots of things of the egg are hanging on to his body. So you have to cleanse it. So at this point, when you have got your realization, the first discussion should be, how am I going to achieve that state of spirit, the pure spirit?
Right. So let's take a moment to just absorb that in silence, the message. Just place the right hand on the left side of the heart. And affirm, I am the pure spirit. That just watches, does not react, is not identified with anything. can bring our hand down. Now, if you have some oil, like olive oil, I think there are several oils that can work. I know olive oil for sure works. I think coconut oil is also a good option. Almond oil should be another one. It acts as a lubricant. So we're going to apply it to this region between the eyebrows and on the bridge of the nose. So we'll take some oil with our just pinching it with the thumb and the first two fingers, and just apply it here between the eyebrows and just massage that area. And you could just run your fingers gently across your eyebrows and above the eyebrows as well. A little bit on the forehead. Because this Hamsa is affected by multiple other centers in this region, the Vishuddhi and the Ajna. At one point in the speech, she mentions that it is governed by Sri Jesus Christ, Buddha, Mahavira, Krishna, and managed by Sri Ganesha. So Jesus Christ is on the Ajna here, and Buddha is on the ego, on the left side of the head, because the right channel comes up and goes to the left and becomes the ego. The left channel goes to the right side, becomes the superego, and that is ruled by Mahavira. And Sri Krishna is on the Vishuddhi. So it's kind of the centroid of all these other centers. We can also run our fingers along the sinuses below the eyes, below the eye socket. Take some more oil if you like. Now, Sri Mataji has also advised lubricating the inside of our nose using just dropping some oil inside with our head up and letting the oil run inside our nasal lining, go up the nose into the sinuses. That lubrication is very helpful to really nourish the center. So we don't necessarily have to do that today. We'll apply the oil externally and can just come back, and we can also sort of massage the top of the forehead. Let this whole area just be completely relaxed. And then meditate silently. Place the right hand across the forehead, gently press on the sides. And say the mantra of forgiveness, which was the ultimate message of Jesus Christ. To open the Agnya Chakra. I forgive everyone and I forgive myself. You can put the right hand behind the head. Oh Mother Kundalini, please correct any imbalances on my back Agnya, which is also at the physical level. A seeing is made possible. A visual perception is processed in the brain, in this occipital lobe, at the back. So let my eyes be pure. This is also the seat of the Muladhara in the brain. And the Muladhara, as we know, is the center for innocence and wisdom. So let any impurities in my Muladhara be removed. Please forgive me for any mistakes done knowingly or unknowingly. And relax the hand for a second. Bring the right hand to the top of the head. Just give it a gentle massage, moving the hand clockwise. Appealing to the energy, the Kundalini, to please penetrate my seventh center, to let more and more of its petals open. Mother, make me one. Let's bring the hand back on our lap and just meditate in silence for a moment or two. can raise the Kundalini again 3 times. And balance our chakras, giving ourselves a bandhan. And with that, we conclude today's session. Thank you all for joining, and please feel free to share any questions or experiences.
Thank you, Sudeep. It was extremely good.
Thank you, Mati.
Thank you, Rahul.
Yeah. Thank you, Mark.
Jai Shri Mataji, I have one question.
Yes.
After doing this meditation, my energy is getting drained out in the morning. Right now, I'm feeling good energy after meditation. But in the morning, my energy is reduced. So what should I do? I do bandhan and all, everything.
Your energy is reduced after the meditation.
No, not right now. In the morning.
Right. Yeah, I mean, but how is the meditation itself when you meditate? What time do you
Yeah,
meditate?
when I meditate, I feel energies and everything.
Okay.
And but in morning, I don't know why my energy is reduced in morning. I
Yeah,
have
I
done
mean,
meditation tomorrow, na, with Hira ma'am. But in the morning, I feel little tired and weakness. And so, what should I do?
first of all, it's important to get enough sleep. If you are not getting enough sleep, then even after the meditation, it's very likely that you will feel tired. So, it's important to be going to bed early, and if you're waking up for meditation, or if you're not able to go to bed early, you can get up early for meditation and then get some rest, go back to sleep after that, and before you wake up and go to work or whatever. So yeah, that's you can try that and see if that changes anything.
Okay, I'll try that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Rahul Bhaiya, do you have any thoughts, suggestions on other anything else that we can do for the Hamsa Chakra with the oil?
No, that's the best
Okay.
that you
Right.
have.
Okay.
Yes.
And I think olive oil, and do you know if there's any other oils that we can use? I was just trying to look up some information about this earlier.
Yeah, olive and almond. That is what
Almond
I.
oil.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Have a beautiful Sunday, everyone. Thank you for the amazing meditation. Have a good
Thank you
day.
for joining. Yeah. Thank you,
Thank you for
Lizanne.
having me.